Here with Coach Jeff Traylor at Day One at American Media Day. Jeff, how's the day treating you?
It's been good. Anytime I'm with Owen McCown and Owen Pee Wee, it's a good day.
I think there's a lot of stuff going on in this building. I saw some Roadrunner fans out there, some people that are, maybe they didn't know they were Roadrunner fans, but they are now.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell because you were lost amongst the 8,000 Mary Kay women that are out there at the convention, JJ, so I was distracted by you and your 8,000 women out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Jeff, what do you think the big talking point is going to be surrounding these media days? There's a lot of change in college football, and Tim Pernetti seems to be at the forefront of a lot of this change. Just what's your take on where this conference is overall amongst the other group of 5, 6?
I think the floor that he made for this league is pretty unique. He was the first one, and maybe the only one that's done that. That you have to invest $10 million in your players this first 3 years, or you're not in the league anymore. And for those presidents to support his vision, to know how committed we are in this league to being good, obviously we need to go reward our presidents and our commissioner and our ADs and do well in non-conference. And we've got 2 really, really big games in Texas State from the Sun Belt, head to the pack, and then obviously you've got Colorado State. Then you got A&M, who's really good, and UIW, who won 11 games last year. So that's a really tough non-conference schedule. Thank God we got a bye week before we start conference.
There's no media poll this year for the conference, but I've read a few things where you're either 3 or 4 in some places. What's your reaction to that, to hearing it?
I've given the same answer forever. I mean, it doesn't matter to me at all. It's basically going off of last year and your 5 years, and we're really proud of our 5 years, what we've done. Obviously, when you won more games in the state of Texas than any of the rest of the schools in that 5-year period is pretty impressive. To be 29-3 at home during that time is very impressive, but let's be honest, man, we left some meat on the bone last year. There's about 3 games we'd like to have back that we felt like we underachieved, to be very honest with you, JJ.
What do you think the Roadrunners are going to look like overall this year? You got a lot of returners on offense, not a lot of returners on defense, and I mean, it seems like you guys are going to be good again.
Well, the expectations are going to be so unrealistic for our offense. I'm sure people are going to be upset no matter what we do. And the expectations are so low for our defense because we're not returning any starters. They'll probably be surprises to people. And I would imagine, like it's been here, as long as I've been here, every game will come down to the very end. And whoever plays situational football, doesn't give up big plays, doesn't commit stupid penalties, will have the best season.
A lot of people consider Owen McCown among the top or maybe even the best quarterback in this conference. What do you think about when you hear that?
I think it's fair. I mean, I know he had some growing up to do early in the year last year, but the last 7 games that he played, I think he was as good as anybody. He has most of his guys returning offensively. Obviously, when you lose Oscar, that's a big loss. But Oscar, got hurt early in the year. So, I say early, middle. So we had to finish the year without him. Not that was easy, but we had to do that. But other than that, we're pretty much back. And I think it's all fair, and I think he's ready for the challenge.
What's his next level of development? Is it just getting that percentage, the completion percentage up, or is maybe some of that wasn't even on all on him last year, right?
I had a lot of drops. It's the most drops we've ever had since I've been here. I think situational football is going to be what's the difference for him. 2-minute drives, 4-minute operate at the end, right before halftime, coming out. Things that kind of get lost, I think will be where you got to look at him this year. I think a lot of these games are going to be like the NFL. It's going to come down to the very last drive, and how he executes in those moments will define what this season looks like to me.
He also didn't have a lot of his wide receivers available to him last year at various times throughout the year. What do you think? How has that looked in the summer? Right, you're doing summer workouts, and then how do you think that's going to look to start the season?
Well, our two leading receivers last year, Amador and McEwen, David missed 9 games and Devin missed 6. So when you miss 15 of the 24, and those are your two guys, it's hard on a quarterback. Now, obviously, we had a lot of guys step in. Chris Carpenter had a really good season, Willie McCoy. So we need to keep those guys healthy. But injuries are a part of the game. And we've got some other guys that step up that got to play a lot last year, namely Jamel Hardy, that needs to really come on and help with that group. And getting DJ back, Allen from the injury will help him. Obviously, Robert's been a staple back there at tailback for a while now. So, yeah, we're just excited to see what that looks like. And to your point, I don't think the percentage, if we catch all the balls he threw to us, he'd be really high.
You mentioned the defense doesn't return any of the normal starters from last year, but you were able to reload at some positions with some really talented players. How good could that unit be this year?
We're not sure yet. I know y'all get tired of my same old quotes. It's probably why y'all get a new coach in here soon, just to get some more quotes. That our potential is great, and I know you already know what I'm going to say next, but the definition of potential is everything that you're not. We just don't know. We like the ownership that our players are taking in practice. They are really doing a great job of being responsible and owning their own mistakes. If they keep that mindset, we will continue to get better. And we just got to be better in September. We've been really good in October and November. We just got to be better in September. And we got to come out of the gates better. It's just a bad year to have to try to do that with the 4 tough opponents that we have in a row.
You were pretty hard on your team in the spring with the discipline, trying to kind of shake things up a little bit. How do you think they took to that, and you think that'll continue into the fall?
Rules without relationships equals rebellion. It doesn't matter how tough I want to be on them if they don't buy into it. They've taken great ownership in that, and they're the reason it's working. They know what I'm doing is right. We've doubled down harder this summer. So what they thought was hard in the spring, Philo's been twice as hard this summer. And we think it's going to really pay benefits for us. But that's something that won't work if the players don't buy into it.
I was looking through the directory, and among the position coaches, I know there's always staff changes throughout, your staff, but you didn't make many big changes. Why is continuity so important to you?
Well, they're really good at their jobs, and just because we did not do exactly what we should, those are the same coaches that have won championships here, been to 5 straight bowls, and the head coach is responsible to do a better job as well. So I think you're just going to see a real benefit from everybody staying calm. Let's just continue to trust the process, evaluate what we did wrong and fix it. And I have a lot of faith in Justin Burke, Zach Brown, and Jess Lell. And those are our 3 coordinators. Our associate head coaches, and Nick Graham and Joe Price. I have a lot of respect for those guys. We've all been together this entire time together. Ryan Philo, I think him and Coach K, they've done a fantastic job in our strength department. I'm not saying, I don't know what our win-loss total is going to be. I just think we'll be a better team. Now, what does that equal? I don't know. I think the schedule's very hard, and you'd be foolish to think we could just run through this thing. They're going to be really tough opponents, and you're going to see a lot of great games this year.
The school rev share started this summer. How's that gone for your program?
We've got work to do, but we first year we picked a number to try to get to, and we got to that number. It'll have to go up a lot more. We had a lot of great players take deals to stay, and if we want to stay competitive, it's going to have to go up. But for this first year, all of our guys got paid on July 1st. We're extremely happy for that. Where does that rank compared to South Florida, Memphis, Tulane? we're still trying to get a good handle on all that. I don't know if anybody's telling the truth. We're in the ballpark, but we're going to have to, increase that number to get to where we all want to get to.
Is that a commitment from the school or just from the city of San Antonio, the fans? Is it going to be a combination of all that?
Well, we've got to do a lot of fundraising. We got to win some ball games. We got to get the Alamo Dome sold out. Obviously, the more winning we do, the better we do, the more it helps Dr. Compost and our fundraising team raise money. Winning always helps. And I've got some responsibility in that. I try to do my best to help in that, but during football season, it's really hard. So I'm going to have to kind of take off the old fundraising cap for a little while and put the old ball cap coach back on. But we've got a lot of work there. But I've got a lot of people committed to doing it with us. It starts with Dr. Compost, obviously. Ashley and Brendan and Robert. Those guys all do a really good job. We're all really. We meet once a week now, once every 2 weeks at the minimum, just to go over what we got to get done. And as much transparency as I've seen in our department, of realizing that Rev Sheriff, we're going to stay in this thing with Karen and girls basketball and Austin and boys basketball and Pat and baseball. We're going to have to hustle, or we won't be able to keep our players.
Jeff, you mentioned winning both the Owens. When I talked to them, said that's kind of the goal. What are the expectations internally for your team this year?
What they always are, for us to put the best team on the field possible and us play the very best we can. I don't know what that equals wins and losses. We do feel like with the talent on our roster, if we play as good as we can, we'll always be in the hunt. And we just didn't play as good as we could have last year. I thought the group before that really did play about as well as they could have. Going down to Tulane that very last game, obviously the turnovers killed us. But then last year, the 3 games we gave away in conference play, that would have been a heck of a game in Army. I mean, it was. But that one haunts us, and we got to get that cleaned up.
You mentioned all those games, and I could think back, and it's one play either way. A handful of those games in last year is different. How many of those do they keep you up at night, or you just kind of try to flush that and move on? Because even as tumultuous as last season was, you're maybe 5 plays away from having a completely different 2024.
Yeah, but you can also go back and check all of our interviews. And when we won 12 and we won 11 and we won 9 or 10, whatever that was, I remember telling you, end of the year, everybody's talking about how great we were. And I remember literally saying we were also 5 plays away from being 7-6. And we were 12-2. The year we were 11, both conference championship runs, there's 5 games. That is college football. You've got to be really good in situational football. You cannot give up big plays. You got to make big plays, and you can't have dumb penalties. And if it were that easy, everybody would do it. It's really hard to do.
I know it's super early, but do you have any idea who some of the players in this conference are going to be? Is it going to be kind of the same guys from last year at the top of this league? All the guys you play?
Yeah, I don't even look at it, to be honest with you. So many things can change before then. We've been working really hard on Texas A&M, and that's where our focus has been. And obviously, that next week we know who we're going to play. It's a big game, obviously, but we've been working on Texas A&M.
I know you don't like to look forward, but everybody has that Texas State game scheduled. What do you expect the atmosphere for that game to be like?
Yeah, I think it's awesome that they're good again. I'm really thrilled for GJ, and they did a fantastic job last year. And it'll be a fun environment. It'll be what it's supposed to be, and it's great for both cities. It's great for college football. It's great for the state, and I'm thrilled for GJ's success.
I have to ask you one last question here. It's the question I'm getting asked the most so far today is, where can fans get that polo with the San Antonio football? People love the San Antonio football. They love the Nike check mark. Is that a branding that you guys are trying to push out?
I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I'm not trying to duck your question. I will get that answer for you.
Yeah.
And when I find that out, I will text that to you. I think it's my favorite shirt so far. I love our city. I've said it. I know y'all probably get tired of hearing me talk about it, but man, I love our city. And I can't tell you how many times Carrie and I'll be driving around and I'll just tell her, I love this place. So anytime we can get the name out, from Spurs to Roadrunners, I'm doing my best to get it out there.
All right, Jeff, appreciate you.
Thank you. God bless. Birds up.